That is the hardest conversation of all to have, is to preach the gospel to someone that does not share your beliefs, whether or not they're an atheist, an agnostic, a Hindu, a Muslim, a Jew, a Buddhist, whatever they may be, whatever their belief system is, to be able to preach the gospel to them and share the gospel in love and have that hard conversation. And this, my friend, is the secret sauce. This is more than just talking to your spouse. This is more than talking to your kid. This is more than talking to your dad. This is what I have longed for, which is the equipping tool that says, church, you are asleep. But this is now the new handbook for evangelism. In my opinion, as a Jewish believer that came to faith at age 44, ordained a rabbi, ordained a Baptist minister, studied, trained, taught, heard the gospel preached in a language I understood and accepted the first time I heard it, because it was a hard conversation presented in a language I understood, and it was carefully crafted so that I could hear it. It's like a person who only speaks Chinese and a Japanese person, and in our lack of discernment, we think they look alike and they sound alike, but they're talking two completely different languages. They don't understand each other, and they're not reaching each other. And that we have to find that common language. We have to find the ability to have that hard conversation to fulfill our calling, which was to go out and make disciples of men. That requires the art of the hard conversation. Lori, maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know that there is so much power contained in these pages. And part of having the hard conversation is having compassion and mercy for the person I'm having the hard conversation with.
Exactly.
And this is why your book, this is one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the program, because this is an evangelical handbook for reaching those that don't know what you're talking about. And your book is a bridge, okay? In the Hebrew, it's kesher. It's a bridge to normalizing, to making a hard conversation something that is not something that I'm so fearful of, and I'm red and I'm perspiring and I'm all worked up over it, and it's painful.
Right.
This moves it out of the painful into the practical and the real, and the most important conversation that you could ever have is going to be the hardest conversation you ever have, and that is about salvation and about Jesus being the Messiah. Lori Roeleveld, thank you. Thank you for writing The Art of Hard Conversations, Biblical Tools for Tough Talks That Matter, and I'll add to it, tough talks that matter to God.
Amen.
Whether or not it's in the relationship with a child or it's the preaching of the gospel. All conversations may be hard, but they're all important. But the most important one, of course, is the presentation of the gospel message. And this book will equip you to do that. And so you may not have issues with people in your life, and you may not struggle with hard conversations, but you find yourself not witnessing, not sharing the gospel, because it's a hard conversation, then this book is for you as well. And it prepares you in a social setting to be able to present the most important message that you'll ever present. Lori Roeleveld, thank you. Thank you so much for being here with us
Reverend.
here. May God bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you, and bless all the works of your hands.
Thank you. You too, Rabbi.